Hi guys, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read for you, and it's very special. I would actually stay and listen to it. It's pretty cool. It came up today. It is the 18th of June 2019, and I'm definitely feeling some very heavy energies. Even though I was very inspired by the read that I just did, I'm really feeling the heavy energies coming in. So you might want to take a deep breath. I know I'm still trying to get rid of the cold that I have, so that's part of it, but I'm definitely feeling the heavy energies today. The 18 is, of course, the moon, and the day adds up to 36-9, which is the 10 of Wands. So it's all about that heavy physical burden, which is what we're kind of feeling today, with the moon energies coming off of the full moon, and the 10 of Wands, which is, you know, where you need to drop your burdens. You need to let go. Also, confessions come up there. So I just want to make sure there's nothing before the read that I want to tell you. Yeah. So I cut the Sirian Starseed deck was cut today at 10:19, and I finished it at 10:36. So 36 matched the day today, 36. So 35 to 36 was coming up here. 35 being the wounded warrior, Mary Magdalene, and the 36 of Atlas and carrying the weight of the world upon your shoulders and needing to drop them. The major arcana for the read today were just the Wheel of Fortune, or the Great Wheel in this deck, and then Reflection, which is the Hermit. So just the Wheel and the Hermit. There were 2 Wands, 2 Cups, 2 Pentacles, and 3 of Swords, so it was very well balanced across the suits. The court cards were Page of Cups, Page of Swords, Knight of Cups, Knight of Swords, you notice the pattern there, and then the Queen of Pentacles. The numbers and the code line all having to do with a new beginning, karmic completion, and love partnership. So really beautiful energies there. The numbers on the code line was just number 7, so all about the sacred 7 and the Chariot, and there's a message here below as well. So 77 also came up in the read. The sequence 7, 8, 9, 10, the end of the cycle. 2, 2, 2, 3. The number 2, 4, which is the Queen of Wands, but it's also the end of karma. It's Omega. And 47 came up, the 7 of Cups, heaven in their eyes, the synchronicities. 78, the 10 of Pentacles, which is the ultimate family, right? And then 89 came up, as well as 9, 10, begin again. So very positive energies here. But we have the Wheel and the Hermit. So what does that bring up here? The message all around the love partnership, the karmic completion, and then the new beginning had everything to do with a couple different things, and it can have to do with children today, but also has to do with us changing from Gemini to Cancer this week. And also the inner children of the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine are so like in the focus right now. The number 7 came up in the code line, as well as the Seeker of Orbs, which is the Page of Swords. So it could be a message, it can be news, it can be immature communication, and it can be online communication, because there's always room for disruption there, or what's the word I'm looking for? Interference. I know I wrote it down. There's always room for error in online communication, so that may be a bone of contention here. But the message was all about the feminine within the masculine, the God aid, being good at the messages, the new, the small talk. Even T was coming up, so also T for me, the T is toggling upward towards the etheric realms. You know how you ground to the center of the earth and then you ground to the central, or upward to the central sun. That for me, that's the toggle up. And being that the number 7 came up, that's very pertinent, because 7 is all about our spiritual energy, and it's also guiding us now to toggle upward, as opposed to grounding, which we always have to do, but also spend more time connecting to your higher self. Also, a helicopter passed over as I wrote number 7, and it was at 10:46, which is the Children in the Garden, 46, and the Wheel of Fortune, the Destiny card, divine timing. The Chariot is at the gate, the knight or the student of words, thought, upward. And it's like the page is changing status to the knight status. So someone is learning. Also, chariot is the god aid with the knight or page, which usually come up as kids or students or younger people, but the students of words and thoughts, and needing to toggle up to connect to their higher self. Also, in the switch from Gemini to Cancer was very important here, because we're going from the chariot, which is Cancer, and the page of swords, which is all about communication, is totally Gemini. We're going from the harsh words of the Gemini into the Cancer season, who are very sensitive. So we'll see what comes up from that as well. So 7 is the Cancer, the chariot. The feminine within the masculine trumps the knight or page of Gemini, okay, as we go into Cancer season. Or 7, the god, a dead test to the seeker, which is negative spirits, of the human embodiment, or BS, or bullshit, okay? Also, GA came up here, which I was wondering why Georgia would come up here, and I was getting Georgia Peach, and I'm bringing that up because it comes into the message below. So yeah, so there may be a test here. The twins, the 7, the chariot, the gate to the students of the young and the old, of thoughts and words, who want to toggle upward for a new beginning in a real love relationship, a real love partnership. Cancer, the mother, and Capricorn, the father, the warrior, and the shadow also come up here, because you realize the chariot is the number 7, and the chariot is the twins. It's the polarization and bringing them together to stay balanced. It's the Cancer, the mother, and the Capricorn father, the warrior, and the polarization of the shadow. The integration of the polarized human, the black and the white, to all the colors of the rainbow between. The wheel and the hermit. The destiny of atom, ATOM, is connection to Eve, or electron. Perpetual co-creation, and on and on and on and on. That's funny because I wrote a song, and on and on and on. And that's infinity, the number 8. So it's how you get from the 7 to the 8. 7 is the power, the Shoka rays. 8, the dance, the blue rays. And 9, the space, right? So it's human embodiment, the 9, with a tail, the connection. It's the space between, leaving room for connection or compassion. And then I was getting Stevie Ray, Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, the blind leading the way. Ray Charles's birthday was September 23rd, 1930. He passed away on June 10th, 2004, and June 10th is actually my mother's birthday. He was called Brother Ray and considered the genius. And Stevie Wonder was born May 13th, 1950, and he's still alive. So right away, as soon as I wrote down Stevie Ray, I got You Are the Sunshine of My Life, and Georgia on my mind came up as the first song for Ray Charles. And here now we're bringing Georgia into this, and there's more about Georgia and the peach. So some of the songs that came up under the numbers, because they list them alphabetically on a certain site by number, and so I just wanted to see what song titles came up under certain numbers for the journey. And it was pretty amazing because Ray Charles wrote 1,400 songs. It literally ended on 1400, which is the temperance card, the angels, the patience and the balance. But he wrote 1,400 songs. That's amazing. So number 7 of the top 10 songs listed was I Can't Stop Loving You. Number 44 was All For You. Number 69, which is the Ace of Pentacles, was Angel City, that new life. Number 144 was Born Full Soul. Number 222 was Cry. Number 333 was G Baby, Ain't I Good to You. Number 444 was I Blush. Number 555 was I Must Believe Me, I Know. 666 was Jumpin' with Teddy. Number 777 was making whoopee, which I totally get with the 777. 888 was oh lonesome me, so it's like needing the inner strength, okay? 999, see what you have done, okay? So blaming other people when you go into the 9 of endings. People don't want to let go. And then the number 1000 was see you then. 1111 was Swanee River Rock. 1017 was she knows. And 1044 was tell me what you want me to do, which is funny because I always say that. Tell me what you want me to do. And then 1155 is that old black magic. And then I was looking at the Stevie Wonder songs to try to parallel some of that. So his songs were listed at 639, so not as many songs. But it was interesting because 222 for Ray Charles was cry, and for Stevie Wonder was I'd cry, literally. His number 7 song was My Cherie Amour. 69 was Christmas song. 111 was Don't You Feel It. 222 was I'd Cry. 333 was Love's in Need of Love Today. 144 for Stevie Wonder was Evil. 444 was Send One Your Love. 555 was Time to Love. And his last song on the list, 639, was Zimbabwe. So that may be coming up for a reason. So it was pretty cool to think of them. And when Stevie and Ray came up, it just blew me away. Just the blind leading the blind, and the needing not to know, okay? Because you already know. As I turned the page, it was 1138. So as soon as I'm finished listing these songs, it's 11 and 38, which 38 is listed as 3811. But it's also the Justice and the Queen of Cups. This read starts out with the underlying energies being the 4 of Wands, or the 4 of Flames, with the 7 of crystals behind it, which for me is the Divine Feminine's heart, but it also has to do with reaping rewards, okay? So it's definitely, this is definitely can be energies of the union of the Divine Feminine's heart connected to the masculine, starting off the read. But before I get into that, I want to tell you that the Georgia Peach thing came up again, and I looked it up online, and something that just came up in the header was it may help with breast cancer cells, reduce wrinkles, support eyesight, and heart health. Peaches. And then I found this video that came up right under that. Peaches, the Presidents of the U.S. of America. So you might want to watch it on YouTube. It's a pretty funny video. It's a band. Peaches, the Presidents of the U.S. of America, the United States of America. So for this read, the central energy here was all about rejection and abandonment. And yesterday it was interesting because it came up as the feminine being ahead, and that she needed to go back to readdress that issue, and probably just to bring her energy a little bit down to meet up with the masculine. But that's the Cancer Gemini, and the challenge is the communication, that Page of Orbs, or Page of Swords, having to do with email and internet communication, and Gemini. So the central energy was Cancer, the challenge was Gemini, as we hear at the end of Gemini. So 4 flames and 7 crystals within, Divine Feminine in union, Divine Feminine within the Divine Masculine. The Knight of Wands rushes in to save the day and start over in love. 910, begin again. The Emperor above, but even more so, the High Priestess, King of Swords, and the Tower equals secret weapon. The King of Swords suddenly healing, forgiving, and moving family out or away from them. And this Emperor here in the beginning of the read could be the King of Swords. The King of Swords could be something separate from him, and it even could be legal advice, that kind of thing. But the Emperor and the masculine can definitely come up as the King of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and the King of Swords today. And the King of Cups really in the read came up as unconditional love, but that too. So it's really coming up as the different personalities and aspects of the masculine. So suddenly in his truth, enough grounding and integrating, time to take back control of his life. Psychic abilities and High Priestess, secret, King of Swords in his truth and receiving epiphanies. Third-party gossip, overindulgences dumped, purged along with heavy thoughts, viewing new perspectives and dumping his ego. Ending the battle and the war, hanging by right ankle, toe pointed on the T cross, scattered grounding, wisdom in taking the high ground, schooling self and then forgiving and apologizing. Alone again, naturally. Okay, so that came up there. So, alone again, naturally, is visions of flash mobs dance in his head. And what is it? Visions of fairy tale or fairies? But here it's the flash mobs dance in his head. And the numbers 88 and 28 came up here in the read. So 88 of the Lion's Gate and the twins side by side integrated, and the 28 of, again, the twins, the Two of Wands, the two flames. As the Divine Masculine finds happiness within himself, ahead in transformation, above religion and children, guilting him, yet showing compassion, the student of emotional fulfillment in walking away and within. So many emotions fail him in recognizing what death truly is, the shift of dimensions, but takes his gold coin with him, perpetual student of the Rainbow Bridge and the world within. Standing by still water in the sound of music and the idea of the perfect family, walking away, hiking in woods and mountains to find the missing piece and find the gold coin, on his own, all natural and green, not a thing needed, just the air that we breathe. So very soon came up for the masculine as underlying energy, and beneath that was separation. So separation is on the horizon for the masculine, and then on top of that was already here, was very soon. The Queen of Pentacles, so it's very soon, you know, clearly decide what you want. So it comes to you now, okay? The Queen of Pentacles is coming up as a focus of the right shoulder and the left chest exposed. The Magician's left shoulder and left chest exposed. The King of Swords, the karmic or child exposed, or the King of Swords being watched through a window at work, or being watched for possible inappropriate behavior with women or girls, or in separation, and that may be real or not real, or in separation, the karmic trying to catch the Divine Masculine, trying to manipulate the kids between them, when actually she may be doing that. Or a magician between the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Swords may be angry and manipulative. The Knight of Cups comes in to offer some passion and romance perhaps, or having sex to get back at his twin flame for some reason, or daughter, and it may not be a real reason, or daughter has a boyfriend and the masculine doesn't trust him, which is for obvious reasons. Or imagining, the masculine may be imagining his twin flame with someone else and makes him mad and jealous. The dog hiding underneath the table when the Knight of Cups and Page of Wands are around. So there may be a dog afraid of the masculine's aggression, or when the kids are around, or the karmic's been doing spell work to get the Divine Masculine's sexual attention, and that came up at 12-12. Compassion came up for the masculine, which is 99, and underneath that was pride of 19 of the sun. And pride can be the children as well, the lion's pride. But showing compassion on top of pride. So we turn the page, it goes from 12-12 to 12-13. And 12s are, of course, of the hangman and the wisdom, seeing a new perspective. And then the 13 is the end of the cycle, the death, the change in dimension. So the Page of Wands reversed may be frustrated but getting over loss, working and saving, getting ready to toss burdens, or collecting laser energy to send signals etherically away from the moon, redirecting energies away from the moon, and motivation. The knight in the shining armor with truth on his side in completion of a cycle, a world-class performance, or working really hard to get a graduating child on their way. Another child could be uninspired or mad about the attention that the other is getting. A need to hide money from the false light. A need to be careful of kids or mommy's minions spying. A lot of wine in burgundy colors here. Stars and fleur-de-lis of royalty and a first place win. Someone may be Olympic bound, or a blast off to the moon, or new satellites, new antenna, new communication with space or space shuttle. And then I was getting to the moon, Alice. And don't come back, no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. Crumpled up paper, bills or messages hidden, piggybacking, camelback, and masquerades, a two-man horse disguise, Cirque du Soleil, dress rehearsal or masquerade ball, royal gala, or gay pride party or parade, around the world, midnight blue and purple burgundy to magenta at night, man on the run, being hunted, deer in headlights, shadows of animals killed in the past haunting someone. The hunter is now the hunted, the righteous wins the gold. All sorts of crazy stuff happening around the world, an amazing shift that no one but God could unfold. Not one but two batons twirled, passing one forward and one back simultaneously, and poof! The right one back, the left one forward, silver and gold, the abominable snow monster, who was called Bumble, also was associated with Yeti later, and Rudolph in a face-off. Mona Lisa and Big Fanny, the part that was missing, the mask, the illusion. So think of Mona Lisa if you saw her with a really huge butt. May change your perspective of how she is seen. The part that was missing, the mask, the illusion, the star, the voice or sound heard around the world. It was just 2112, okay? This is so important. The sound heard around the world. Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. Pa-ra-pa-pa-pum. The little drummer boy feeling unworthy with no gift to bring, and I was getting connection there, only a huge heartbeat. Walking away from home and separation, very soon romance and compassion, pride and the beat heard around the world. And then I got turn the beat around. Okay, so that came up, and then total eclipse of the heart. Completion of the heart expansion. So recently for the masculine, and I'm getting connection, recently for the masculine is that Knight of Cups with huge emotions and creative and sexual blocks, and not expressing their feelings, but now free with an open heart, ready to leap on two different levels, on an individual level and on a world scale. And as I turned the page, it was 1243. 3 is the Three of Cups of coming together, and 12 of wisdom. There's a huge tidal wave surfing the green room, having ended the war within. And the underlying signs that came up was only Pisces upright, Aries upright, Scorpio upright, and Virgo reverse. That was it for the underlying energies. The foundation for the masculine is the destiny, the wheel of fortune, the great wheel. The destiny of Adam and Eve, looking at the past powerlessness and loss of independence in looking or living in the past. The Queen of Swords. I wrote something above that and I don't know why. Anyway, the Queen of Swords talks about this loss of independence and looking to the past and living in the past, and how in the offer of a new life, the Ace of Pentacles, God's offer of the gold coin to the Queen of Swords with silver sword, who lost her gold coin when giving birth to her children. I don't know if you remember, but in the video I did that identified the gold coin as the Christ consciousness that we all are born into this world with, but that the mother loses when she gives birth, because she actually gifts that gold coin to her children. And so she doesn't find her own way again after healing from giving away her power to her children, because they require her complete attention when they're babies, because they can't survive on their own. But she was then identified as the Queen of Swords, the silver. And that until she finds back her confidence for herself, her self-love again, she doesn't have her gold coin. So the Queen of Swords with silver sword, who lost her gold coin when giving birth to her children, is now reborn from the dark night to an even bigger gold coin, the one of self-love, authenticity. Centrally, the Page of Cups with heart cracked wide open, lovers of unconditional love. The King of Cups reaps rewards after they've been rejected. The student of the gold coin of patience and angels, and the grieving process of abandonment from self. The challenge for the masculine being that Page of Swords, right? The negative self-talk, the one little bit of light and surrender, giving up the wounds, the Queen of Cups, rejection, that both the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine felt abandoned and were together the whole time in that. Will she reject the passion between them, he wonders, the Divine Masculine struggling for the words to write, to say, the full moon behind him, the Divine Feminine, patient angel rejected, and the Queen of Wands and the constant gardener giving up, or did already at the full moon. Now crowning is work. 4.5 crystals, and for me that's between 4 and 5, but it's also the 5 of Cups, which is passing the baton, letting go of the past, okay? So it's an important number here. So now crowning is work, 4.5, and need to pass the baton, the crystals, toggling up, climbing his way, one crystal at a time, out of a hole, a tunnel, a well, a ditch, a basement, a dungeon, and finally out on top. Never going back down there again, defenseless to the energies, having not working, but overworking and can't focus and misaligned, drained or sick, off balance or in debt, forced to disconnect from the world and forced to drop all his burdens, the weight of the world on his shoulders. Atlas. The Queen of Swords is forced to face the man in the mirror, but having trouble at the moment since he won't look back. Injustice of his childish inspiration, his wanderlust, struggling to express big love at work, the angel who makes him feel happy and free, co-creating justice, truth, and balance in a new love, self-love, spiritual love, and to correct the imbalance of longing for the past and the false light, a need to know when you already know. You don't need to look back. So soon, and this was the where did it go? Soon is the 10 of Flames, okay, or the 10 of Wands, dropped, only in need of one flame to light the way. The Queen of Pentacles clearly not pretending, but breaking her own patterns to find true self-love and true self. Choosing the left to rebalance, or the feminine, to rebalance the masculine and feminine in a surrender to the third energy and the one who plants the seeds, or the Divine Masculine. The Divine Masculine is, he sees himself as the reflection. I didn't show you, this was the crowning card, okay, about the work. So he's seeing himself as reflection, as the Hermit. Okay. Cutting to the chase with a message about the journey and third party through work or place of co-creation, and that was at 119, 1 being the Magician and 19 the Sun, very masculine energy there. As we turn the page to 120 and the judgment of this, the masculine speaking about not getting along at work or leaving, or speaking to the King of Pentacles, which could be the Divine Feminine's masculine side, having mastered her manifestations, or himself as he is in hermit mode. This could be representative of the feminine, his new love. The Queen of Pentacles just above. So the King and Queen of Pentacles are right here around him. So it doesn't really matter which one's which, because you're the same. Around the divine, or then the cards that came up here for the masculine from the Romance Angels were wedding, that this situation involves marriage. Pay attention to the red flags, which is all about your signs and synchronicities, and also following your guidance. But also what was coming up for me today was the base chakra. So yeah, the reds of needing to ground, safety and security, all of those things that have to do with that chakra were coming up here. Also the need to make an effort for the masculine and new love. Around the Divine Masculine, or how he is seen, is the Knight of Swords, sending 5D messages that the worst is over regarding ending commitments, contracts, religion, marriage. The Wheel of Fortune present, destiny of the sealed divine feminine, or a world with her in it. Only the kids and pets between them. The Page of Wands, Karma, number 26. I was just getting to turn the page. So only the kids and pets between them. The Page of Wands specifically coming up because that's the number 26 of Karma, right? Just the child and the immaturity of the child, and it's just time to turn the page to the Knight. And we saw that in both the Swords and the Cups today. We went from the Page of Swords to the Knight of Swords, and the Page of Cups to the Knight of Cups, as we go from Gemini into Cancer season. The masculine needs to clear blocks of the Queen of Pentacles stuck in their emotions without peace, and connecting with jealousy or strong connection, seeing eye to eye and face to face amidst turbulent waters in jealousy or insincerity or lack of love expressed, yet free in the 5D with the Queen of Pentacles. The masculine may see this. Like, I know it's amazing in the 5D, but are we going to be able to work it out in the 3D? The signs that came up for the body of the read were Gemini upright, Sag upright, Leo upright and reversed, Libra upright and reversed, Cancer upright, Aries upright, Virgo reversed, Taurus reversed, Pisces upright, Aquarius upright, Capricorn upright, and Scorpio reversed. The Empress was upright. The Emperor was upright. The Empress was reversed, and she could be coming up as the Queen of Wands as well, or it could be her mother, because they're coming up side by side, both negative. They're the only adults that are reversed in this read. All the kings were upright. All the queens, except for the Queen of Wands, were upright. And the only other ones that were reversed were the Page of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles. That's it. And the Queen of Wands and the Empress both came up reversed together in the read. So it's like her, it could be the same person, it could be her and a mother. And it can reference the Queen of Wands and the Divine Feminine as well there. Okay? But, let's see here. Love partnership came up, as I told you in the beginning of the read. Karmic completion and new beginnings, but even more so right now is the spirituality between you. Talks at the gate about the call to action. The Page of Wands tying the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine together in a hand fasting with Cupid present. Free from the carnival, the freak show, to leap toward the Queen of Pentacles in knowing of the transformation, floating with two batons or invisible orbs, able to escape the energies of the full moon, the safe zone, the vortex, the 0 point, the space between, the gold coin, and rising above the 3D drama, dying to end family emotional cycle with the devil in a simple shift towards the light, surrender through the portal, loving your shadow and your light, rising to tango with the shadow, with the wounded warrior right behind you, backing you up. 16 flames total in surrender to blast off. And this is the way the end of the read came up. So the blocks that he needs to clear are about the Queen of Pentacles, which definitely can be the Divine Feminine, could reference someone else in his life as well. And then the final cards were the Two of Orbs, and then the 7 of Flames, and then the 9 of Flames behind it, like this. Okay? So this is the rising above the drama, and this definitely represents the feminine exactly, literally, and the masculine literally. The masculine has her back, okay, as a wounded warrior, and her rising above the drama in the 3D, both in their knowing, okay? Happy with himself, the masculine, even his insecurities, with the twin, not walking away and being strong, releasing himself from his prison of anxiety. And that right at 137, a squirrel just looked at me right after that through the window. And 1 is the Magician, 37, the King of Cups. Magician, so magician embodiments in unconditional love. And Capricorn, Scorpio, Aquarius, Aries, Cancer energies all came up around the end of the read. Also Leo, ego, pride, surrounded with cups to keep the flames under control. Or the Queen of Wands reversed, Aquarius, Cancer, Taurus, messenger of truth, dumping attachments, an attachment to purging, the purging cycles. Aquarius, Queen of Wands reversed, moving potentially with Cancer Mother, or two aspects of the Queen of Wands reversed, refusing to move, stubborn in deliberation or a bad decision, the King of Wands coming out with the truth and triumphing. So the Ace of Swords comes out on top here with the King of Wands who's upright. Or the Empress reversed is between the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands reversed, a parent who's in lack or ill, or family or a friend who has cancer, and someone may be taking care of someone with cancer. The King of Wands with Virgo in their chart, thinking it was a bad decision to take someone in, or someone healing and moving because another is stubborn and refusing to move. Everyone upright except the Queen of Wands and Empress, the Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, and Page of Cups, which could be a mother, a grandmother, and 3 kids, okay? And it could be 1 or 2 kids and friends involved, or it could be nieces and nephews involved as well. But that could be one specific situation. And turn the page, it's now 2 o'clock, and 2 is the High Priestess with 2 zeros of God's source energy behind it. The heart is the home as destiny and divine timing of the Hermit, sending 5D messages, professing love and emotions, opening their heart, challenged by a little truth, or message or news, or a child, and coming out of the dark with the Queen of Pentacles, working on the details, crystal alignment, in floating and knowing without knowing, rising above the drama and 3D in the wounded warrior's surrender to be free. Home or in union with the Knight of Cups, full of emotion and expressing to the world, destined to have received love message and or rejection through work, challenged by online communication and distortions or interference. The Hermit and or Virgo out of the dark basement into their knowing, the 5D messages sent to the Queen of Pentacles, also in their knowing, to dance with the wounded warrior. It's like an invitation to dance, okay? Free from, and Spirit's connecting with me, free from ego and anxiety, both of them. So in this Gemini energy, there may have been teachers out everywhere teaching what they've learned. I keep getting confirmations here. And it just turned to 347. And 3 is the Empress, and 47 is the the 7 of Cups. So the Empress can be Gaia as well, and the 7 of Cups is the synchronicities, the options, the emotional choices and decisions, but also heaven in their eyes, the dreams. So teachers could be out teaching as we go into the 3 of the Empress, Cancer energy, right? Even though the Empress is considered Taurus, we're going into Cancer energy, which is all about the mother, which is also about Mother Earth. So during this Gemini season, I was also getting not only that teachers have been out everywhere teaching what they've learned, but the Geminis who have hurt water signs in this Gemini season with their blunt words and or abusive words, watch out going into Cancer season, as the Knight of Cups and the Page of Cups will find their power again, along with the strength of the North Node in Cancer. So we go into Cancer on the solstice, right on June 21st, and it was just 3823 of the Queen of Cups and the King of Wands, which they both can come up in this read as the feminine and the masculine. So Cancer seasons from June 21st to about July 23rd, I believe, and then my male was at 12244 as I finished the read at 244. Actually at 238 as well, it was 12244. And 38 is the Queen of Cups. 44, of course, is the 4 of Cups and the mastering, grounding, and integrating of all of your energies. So for me, this was a very powerful read. I was kind of excited about what came out, and I hope you appreciate what came out, especially with Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles, and even with the little, there's confirmation again, and then the little drummer boy with the heartbeat before the little drummer boy coming up, and then the little drummer boy came up, and then tying that into the only important heartbeat, okay? And the total eclipse of the heart coming up here. And this is definitely coming up for, definitely if the Knight of Cups is reversed, and then this big flood of emotion just cracking his heart open wide with the Page of Cups as well. I'm going to show you the basic read because you see the Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups there, okay? And it's all about the heart cracking open wide after all these turbulent emotions of the Knight of Cups and the in the past position there. I'm over here. So right there is this is the Knight of Cups, and that's in the middle is the Page of Cups. So we have those, and then I'm going to show you the whole read. What are we at? We're at 4023. I thought I might pull just a real quick card from the Good Tarot. Let's see what comes up just to close the read. Take a deep breath, you guys. They all want to fall apart. And one card flipped up, the Three of Wands flipped up reversed, which is looking back to the past, so don't do that. That was just kind of like a reminder. And then we have, let's see here. All right. So this June 18, 2019, which is the moon, those heavy energies of the moon, the false light. For everyone watching, the best and highest good of all is concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Sister Sophia, Mother, Father, what is it we need to learn? What is your advice? And it fell right out. A few more. Bottom of the deck is the Nine of Water, which is like the Nine of Cups. Upright. Okay, so this is masculine, like finding his happiness, which came up in the read. And then first came up where the High Priestess and the King of Air were both reversed, which could be the masculine, falling back a little bit into his untruth, right? He just could be knocked off balance, actually, because the truth may have come out. So the secrets may have come out. So it might have knocked him for a loop just now since I did the read. So it could have knocked the King of Swords off balance a little bit, okay? And then the Page of Fire is also reversed, which could be his inner child. It always comes up as in his inner child, the Page of Wands, right? The masked boy with the burning flame. So he's coming up as reversed also, which can be, frustrations, it can be lack of inspiration, it can be someone having a temper tantrum, okay? So, and it also can be not only a secret coming out and causing the masculine to get knocked for a loop, so to speak, but also not using your intuition. And the Queen of the Empress reverse can be ignorance, okay? Like ignorance is bliss, so when he goes back into his untruth, he finds out that it's not bliss. There may be something that happens that makes him realize what happens when he's not in his truth. Then 3 more cards came up, the Sun reversed, Transformation reversed, which is like the Death card, and then 10 of Fire upright. So, the burdens have been dropped in the read, so it's like today, all of a sudden he sees what happens when he picked up the burdens again. It just threw his whole world out of whack again, because the Sun was reversed, which is being drained, and then Transformation's reversed, it's clinginess, and then 10 of Fire of the burdens coming back on, the weight of the world upon his shoulders, as soon as he allows someone to drain his energy and not allow the full transformation, okay? So it's like, it's showing as soon as he goes back to his old ways, it's like the universe is just smacking him to show him so he doesn't do it again. All right, you see in just 6 cards that we pulled, we have the Sun, the Death card, and the High Priestess. So half the cards here are major arcana, and they're all reversed. The only one that's upright is the 10 of Fire, which you don't want upright. All right, so it's literally showing you that the 9 of Waters or the 9 of Cups, and you finding your happiness, being by yourself, this is what happens when this becomes arrogance, okay? That is a clear message. All right, so I'm going to leave it at that since we're at 444. Rise and be love, you guys.